If you are chosen by God, there is a sacred responsibility placed upon you, one that cannot be easily understood by those who have not felt His calling. The world may tempt you to share all that is happening in your soul, but there are some things, precious, delicate things, that are best kept between you and your Creator. The more we learn to protect these divine matters, the more clearly we hear God's voice in our lives, and the more securely we walk in His plan. First, do not reveal your struggles and trials to just anyone. These difficulties are often the chiseling tools that God uses to shape you into the person He intends you to be. Sharing them with those who cannot grasp their significance may diminish their sacredness. There is a mystery in suffering, a refining fire that transforms the soul. In your trials, God is doing something greater than what the eye can see. And when you expose those moments to others, you may lose the wisdom He is trying to impart to you. Secondly, your relationship with God is intimate, personal, and unique. It is not something to be paraded in front of others for validation or approval. The depth of your communion with Him, the moments when His voice whispers to your heart, and the quiet revelations that occur in prayer, these are holy experiences meant for you alone. When we seek to share them carelessly, we risk making sacred moments into spectacles, missing their deeper purpose. Do not, under any circumstances, reveal your plans before they come to fruition. When God places a dream or vision in your heart, it is a seed that must be nurtured in silence and faith. Speaking of it too soon can open the door for doubt, misunderstanding, or even sabotage. The world may not be ready to understand what God is doing in your life, and in their confusion, they may try to pull you off the path He has set before you. Trust that God will give you the right time to act and the right time to speak, for His timing is perfect. Fourth, never expose the depths of your weaknesses to those who are not prepared to handle them. As chosen ones, we often feel the weight of our inadequacies, but these are the very places where God's strength is made perfect. Sharing these vulnerabilities indiscriminately can lead others to question God's work in your life, or to misuse that knowledge against you. Instead, lay your weaknesses at the feet of God, for He alone understands how they will become the foundation of your greatest victories. Lastly, be cautious in revealing the full extent of your blessings. When God pours out His grace and favor upon you, it can provoke jealousy or misunderstanding in others. There are those who may not be able to see the hand of God in your blessings, and they may seek to undermine or belittle them. This is not to say that you should hide the goodness of God, but be wise in how and when you share the abundance He has given. Let the overflow of His blessings in your life speak for themselves, rather than seeking to make a display of them. In this journey of being a chosen one, wisdom is your greatest ally. What you keep in your heart, close to God, becomes a wellspring of strength. Trust that He will guide you, that He knows the road ahead better than anyone, and that His hand is upon you always. The path of a chosen one is not an easy one. It is often marked by moments of profound isolation, where even those closest to you may fail to understand the weight of your calling. This is not because they lack love or care, but because God has entrusted you with a burden they are not meant to carry. There is a divine secrecy to the way God operates in the lives of His chosen. He works in the hidden places, in the quiet chambers of the heart, away from the noise of the world. What He reveals to you in these moments is precious, sacred, and not meant for everyone to know. This is why it is crucial to guard your heart and guard what He has shown you. The world is not kind to those who are different, and being chosen by God sets you apart in ways that others cannot easily comprehend. When you reveal too much of what God is doing in your life, you invite voices that may not be aligned with His purpose for you. These voices, whether well-meaning or not, can cloud your discernment and pull you away from the path God has set before you. It is essential, therefore, to learn the art of silence. Silence in the life of the chosen one is not weakness or fear, it is wisdom. Silence allows you to commune with God without interference. It gives you space to process His revelations and His instructions before the world's opinions try to sway you. The world will always have its opinions, its judgments, and its criticisms, but none of those can touch the sacred space between you and your Creator. That is where true strength lies. When God begins to work in your life, especially in ways that are visible to others, there will be a temptation to share every detail, You might feel the urge to explain yourself, to justify your actions, or to make sense of the blessings you receive. But remember, not every blessing is meant to be broadcasted. Some blessings are meant to be lived, to be internalized, and to be treasured quietly. When you boast of your blessings, you risk diminishing their true value and opening yourself to unnecessary scrutiny. There is also the danger of sharing prematurely. Often God is still in the process of shaping and molding your blessings, and they are not yet ready for the world to see. Imagine a potter at work, carefully crafting a piece of clay into a beautiful vessel. If that vessel is shown too soon, before it has been fully formed or fired in the kiln, it may appear unfinished or flawed. The same is true for the work God is doing in your life. If you reveal it too soon, before it has been fully developed, you may invite misunderstanding or criticism that could hinder the process. The same caution applies to sharing the trials you face. Every trial, every challenge, and every hardship has a divine purpose in the life of a chosen one. These trials are not random or meaningless. They are tailored specifically to you, to refine you, to strengthen your faith, and to draw you closer to God. When you share your trials with others, particularly those who are not walking the same path as you, they may not see the purpose behind your suffering. They may pity you, offer misguided advice, or even try to discourage you from enduring the hardship. But God sees the end from the beginning. He knows the purpose of your trials, and He alone knows when they will end. Trust Him with your suffering and resist the urge to seek validation or comfort from those who cannot understand its purpose. God's chosen ones are often misunderstood. The world does not easily accept those who walk to the beat of a different drum, especially when that drum is the calling of God. You may find yourself alienated, criticized, or even mocked for the choices you make. But remember, you are not living for the approval of the world. You are living for the approval of God. The moment you seek validation from others, you risk losing sight of the one who has called you. It is better to walk alone with God than to walk with the crowd without Him. Another reason to guard what God reveals to you is the presence of spiritual opposition. When you are chosen by God, you become a target for forces that seek to disrupt His plan. These forces are not always visible, but they are very real. The enemy thrives on division, doubt, and fear, and he will use any means necessary to plant these seeds in your heart. When you speak too freely about what God is doing in your life, you give the enemy a foothold. You expose yourself to attacks that could have been avoided if you had kept those matters between you and God. It is also important to remember that not everyone around you is walking the same path. Even among those who share your faith, there are different levels of spiritual maturity and understanding. What God reveals to you in your walk with Him may not make sense to others, and they may question or challenge what you are experiencing. This is why discernment is so crucial. Discernment allows you to know when to speak and when to remain silent. It allows you to filter the voices that are not in alignment with God's will for your life. In the life of a chosen one, there is a delicate balance between sharing your testimony and keeping the sacred things hidden. There will be moments when God calls you to share your story, to encourage others by revealing what He has done in your life. But there will also be moments when He calls you to keep silent, to treasure those experiences in your heart, and to allow them to shape you privately. It is in those private moments that God does His deepest work. Your relationship with God is the most important relationship in your life. It is the foundation of everything you are and everything you will become. Protect that relationship fiercely. Do not allow the opinions of others, the distractions of the world, or the schemes of the enemy to come between you and your Creator. There is a reason why God calls His chosen ones to walk a narrow path. It is a path that requires focus, dedication, and above all, trust in Him. Trust is the cornerstone of your walk with God. Trust that He knows what is best for you, even when it doesn't make sense to others. Trust that He is working in your life, even when the evidence is not yet visible. Trust that He is guiding you, even when the path ahead seems unclear. This trust is not something to be shared or explained, it is something to be lived. The more you trust God, the less you will feel the need to justify yourself to others. There will be times when God asks you to step out in faith, to take risks that seem impossible or illogical. In those moments, the temptation to seek reassurance from others will be strong. But remember, faith is not about what others can see or understand. It is about trusting in what God has spoken to you, even when no one else believes it. Do not let the doubts of others shake your faith. Stand firm in the knowledge that God has chosen you, and that He will equip you for whatever lies ahead. As you walk this path, you will begin to realize that the most powerful moments in your relationship with God are often the ones that are hidden from the world. They are the quiet moments of prayer, the whispered promises in the night, the still, small voice that speaks to your heart. These moments are not for public display, they are treasures to be kept close to your heart. They are the foundation of your strength, the source of your peace, and the reason why you can face the world with confidence, even when it doesn't understand you. Being chosen by God is both a gift and a responsibility. It is a calling that requires wisdom, discernment, and a deep trust in His plan. It is not for the faint of heart, but for those who are willing to walk in faith, even when the way is unclear. As you continue on this journey, remember that God's hand is upon you, guiding you, protecting you, and leading you into the fullness of His purpose. Guard what He has given you, and trust that in His time, all will be revealed according to His perfect will. The role of being one of God's chosen ones means you are set apart for something far greater than yourself. This higher calling comes with a unique set of responsibilities that may not always be understood by those around you. As you navigate this path, one of the greatest lessons you will learn is that discretion and silence are often your most powerful allies. This is not out of fear or distrust, but out of reverence for the sanctity of the work God is doing in you. When God moves in your life, He often does so quietly, behind the scenes, in ways that are not immediately visible to others. There is a reason for this. God's plans are not meant to be exposed before their time. In a world that constantly pushes for transparency, sharing, and openness, the idea of keeping certain things to yourself may seem countercultural. But the wisdom of God is different from the wisdom of the world. What the world calls secretive, God calls sacred. What the world might view as withholding, God sees as protection. You are called to protect what He has entrusted to you, your dreams, your struggles, your victories, until the time comes for them to be revealed. One of the most difficult challenges as a chosen one is knowing who to trust with the intimate details of your spiritual journey. Not everyone is equipped to handle the weight of your calling, and not everyone has the discernment to understand what God is doing in your life. There will be moments when you feel isolated, when it seems that no one truly understands the magnitude of what you are experiencing. This isolation, however, is often a tool God uses to deepen your relationship with Him. It is in the quiet, solitary moments that He speaks to you most clearly. It is when the noise of the world fades that you can hear His voice without distraction. As a chosen one, you are likely to experience spiritual insights, visions, or moments of revelation that others may not. These are precious gifts from God, not to be flaunted or shared carelessly. When you share divine revelations with those who are not ready to receive them, you risk diminishing their impact, or worse, inviting unnecessary confusion or skepticism. This can lead to doubt, not only in their hearts, but in yours as well. There is a sanctity to the revelations God gives you. They are meant to build your faith, to strengthen your spirit, and to guide you on your unique path. Sharing them with others too soon can dilute their power and distract you from their true purpose. The temptation to share what God is doing in your life can be strong, especially when you are excited about the changes He is making. But be mindful that not everyone will understand or appreciate what you are experiencing. Some may try to offer advice or opinions that, though well-meaning, are not aligned with God's will for you. Others may react out of jealousy or fear, attempting to pull you away from the very thing that God is calling you to. It is important to remember that your relationship with God is personal and sacred. While there may be times when God prompts you to share your story to inspire or encourage others, there are also times when He calls you to keep things between you and Him. Another aspect of being chosen by God is the understanding that not every part of your journey will make sense to those around you. God's ways are higher than our ways, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. What may seem illogical or even foolish to others may be part of a greater plan that only God can see. When you reveal too much of your journey, you open the door to judgment and criticism from those who do not share your vision. This can lead to doubt creeping into your own heart, causing you to second-guess the very things God has called you to do. There is also the reality that spiritual warfare is very real, and the enemy is always seeking to derail those who are walking closely with God. When you expose too much of what God is doing in your life, you may unintentionally give the enemy insight into your vulnerabilities or the areas where God is working to strengthen you. The enemy thrives on exploiting these areas of weakness. By keeping certain things between you and God, you shield yourself from unnecessary attacks and distractions that could hinder your spiritual growth. The world often misunderstands the nature of spiritual blessings. People may see the outward signs of God's favor on your life success, peace, joy, but they may not understand the inner transformation and the trials that accompany those blessings. Sharing your blessings too freely can lead to envy or misunderstanding. Others may think that you have received these blessings effortlessly, without recognizing the sacrifices and faith it took to get there. This can lead to resentment or worse, cause others to stumble in their faith, believing that God has favored you over them. There is wisdom in learning to move in silence. Not every victory needs to be announced, not every struggle needs to be shared, and not every blessing needs to be broadcast. There is strength in knowing that God is working in your life, even if no one else sees it. Trust that when the time is right, God will reveal what needs to be revealed in His way and in His time. Until then, hold close to Him and allow Him to continue shaping you in the hidden places. Being chosen by God also means that you will often be called to walk a path that is different from those around you. This can be lonely at times, but it is also a great privilege. You are not meant to blend in with the world, you are meant to stand apart, to be a light in the darkness. This distinction comes with a responsibility to guard what God has given you. The world may not understand your journey, but that is because they are not called to walk it. You must walk by faith, not by sight, trusting that God is leading you even when the road ahead is unclear. The more closely you walk with God, the more He will reveal to you. But with greater revelation comes greater responsibility. You are entrusted with knowledge and understanding that others may not have, and it is your duty to steward that well. This means knowing when to speak and when to remain silent, when to act and when to wait. It means being discerning about who you share your journey with and recognizing that not everyone is meant to accompany you on this path. There is a deep wisdom in learning to guard the treasures of your heart. Your relationship with God, your trials, your victories, and your revelations are sacred. They are the foundation of your walk with Him, and they must be protected. In guarding these treasures, you are not being secretive or selfish, you are being wise. You are acknowledging the holiness of what God is doing in your life and recognizing that not everyone is equipped to understand or appreciate it. As a chosen one, you are called to live a life of faith, trust, and obedience. This means trusting God with the details of your life, even when you do not fully understand them yourself. It means being obedient to His voice, even when it calls you to remain silent or to keep certain things hidden. It means walking in the assurance that God is for you, even when the world seems to be against you. The journey of a chosen one is not an easy one, but it is a journey filled with purpose and divine direction. You may not always see the full picture, but you can trust that God does. He sees the end from the beginning, and He knows the plans He has for you. As you continue to walk this path, remember that you are not alone. God is with you every step of the way, guiding you, protecting you, and leading you into the fullness of His plan for your life. So hold tightly to the things He has revealed to you. Treasure the sacred moments, the whispered revelations, and the divine insights that He gives you. Protect them from the noise and distractions of the world, and trust that in His time, all will be revealed according to His perfect will. Let your silence be a testament to your faith, your discretion a reflection of your wisdom, and your trust in God a beacon of light that guides you through even the darkest of times. The journey you are on as one of God's chosen is a walk of faith, a trust that transcends understanding, and often it is shrouded in mystery. The unseen hand of God guides you, and while the world may pressure you to disclose every detail, you must resist this urge. Silence at times is not only golden but sacred. It preserves the holiness of your relationship with God, allowing His will to manifest without interference. Many times you will encounter those who, out of curiosity or even genuine concern, will want to know what is going on in your spiritual life. They may ask probing questions or offer unsolicited advice, thinking they are helping. But not all well-meaning advice aligns with the divine direction God has set for you. Their perspective may be limited to worldly wisdom, whereas your path is governed by a heavenly perspective. Sharing too much with those who are not walking with you can not only confuse them but also open you up to doubts that were not there before. Guarding your spiritual journey does not mean isolating yourself completely from community or fellowship, but it means discerning what parts of your journey are meant to be shared and which parts are meant to be kept in the quiet, sacred space between you and God. You must understand that there are times when God reveals something to you that is solely for your benefit, for your growth, for your strengthening. When you prematurely share these things, you risk exposing them to scrutiny, misunderstanding, and even spiritual attack. There is also a special kind of power that comes from keeping certain things between you and God. This power lies in the intimacy of the relationship. When you learn to trust God with the secrets of your heart, without the need for external validation, you are walking in true faith. Faith, by its very nature, does not require the approval or understanding of others. It is deeply personal, rooted in your trust in God's character and His promises. The world around you may be loud, filled with opinions, noise, and distraction, but your inner world, the one shaped by your walk with God, is quiet, still, and peaceful. You must also remember that the timing of revelation is critical in God's kingdom. Ecclesiastes tells us that there is a time for everything, and this includes a time for speaking and a time for silence. Not every season is a season for sharing. In fact, some of the most profound seasons of growth and preparation occur in the hidden, quiet places of our lives. Just as a seed must be planted in the dark soil before it can sprout, so too must your spiritual growth often occur in the quiet, unseen places before it can manifest outwardly. In this world, the concept of keeping things to oneself is often associated with selfishness or a lack of transparency. But in God's kingdom, discretion is a virtue. It shows that you trust God to bring forth what needs to be revealed when it is time. You are not withholding out of fear or pride, but out of wisdom and reverence for what God is doing. When you learn to move in silence, you free yourself from the need for external validation. You are no longer seeking approval from others, because you have found your approval in God. This allows you to walk confidently, even when others do not understand. Another reason to keep certain things to yourself is that not everyone around you is prepared to handle the weight of your calling. The dreams, visions, and purposes that God has placed in your heart are specifically designed for you. They are tailored to your gifts, your experiences, and your relationship with God. When you share these things with people who are not equipped to understand them, they may unintentionally project their own fears or limitations onto you. They may try to advise you from a place of their own experience, which might not align with the path God has for you. You must also be mindful that the enemy is always looking for opportunities to distract, discourage, or derail those who are walking closely with God. When you reveal too much, you may be giving the enemy a glimpse into the areas where God is working in your life. Spiritual warfare is real, and the enemy often uses the words and actions of others to sow doubt and confusion in the minds of those who are trying to follow God's plan. By keeping certain things between you and God, you protect yourself from these unnecessary attacks. It is important to remember that while your journey may be unique, you are not alone. God is with you every step of the way, and He is your ultimate source of guidance and strength. The isolation you may feel at times is not a sign that you are abandoned, but rather a sign that you are being set apart for something greater. God often uses seasons of solitude to prepare His chosen ones for the work He has for them. It is in these quiet moments that He shapes you, refines you, and equips you for the tasks ahead. As you continue on this journey, you will also discover that the rewards of silence far outweigh the temporary satisfaction of sharing prematurely. There is a deep, abiding peace that comes from knowing that you are walking in step with God's timing. This peace is not dependent on the approval or understanding of others, but on the assurance that God is in control. He sees the bigger picture, and He knows the perfect time for everything to be revealed. The more you walk in this trust, the more you will experience the fullness of what it means to be one of God's chosen ones. You will learn that the silence is not empty, but full of divine purpose. Every moment of waiting, every instance of holding back, is part of the greater plan God has for you. And when the time comes for your journey to be revealed, it will be far more powerful and impactful than if you had tried to force it into the light prematurely. Your silence will speak louder than words. It will testify to your faith, your trust in God, and your understanding that His ways are higher than ours. Your discretion will be a reflection of your wisdom, showing that you know the value of the treasures God has entrusted to you. And when the time comes, God Himself will reveal what needs to be revealed, in His way and in His time, for His glory. In the stillness of your heart, in the quiet moments that are shared only between you and God, you are being molded into the person He has called you to be. The silence you maintain is not a void, but rather a space filled with divine purpose, where God's voice is the loudest. The world around you may be clamoring for explanations, demanding answers, or seeking to understand the journey you're on, but their curiosity does not dictate the revelations you are meant to share. As you grow closer to God, you will find that not every truth is meant to be spoken aloud, not every vision is meant to be announced, and not every divine encounter is meant to be shared. There is profound wisdom in protecting the sacredness of your relationship with God. Imagine for a moment the intimacy between a father and his child. The whispered words of encouragement, the promises spoken in secret, the dreams that are nurtured in the quiet of that relationship, these are not meant to be shouted from the rooftops. They are meant to be cherished, held close, and allowed to grow in the heart until the right time. God's chosen ones, like a child held in the arms of a loving father, are often entrusted with divine secrets. These are not meant to be shared hastily or casually. Instead, they are meant to be pondered, prayed over, and kept in the heart until the moment comes when God says, "Now it's time." Many who walk in the world do not understand this kind of discretion. They live in a culture that celebrates oversharing, where the private becomes public in an instant, and the sacred is often treated as commonplace. But as one of God's chosen, you are called to live differently. You are called to guard what is holy. In the same way that a treasure is hidden and protected, the insights, revelations, and promises God gives you must be handled with care. They are treasures of the kingdom, not to be thrown carelessly before the world, but to be shared at the appointed time, for the appointed purpose. What happens when you reveal these sacred things too soon? There is a risk that the weight of their significance may be lost on those who are not prepared to receive them. Some will question, some will doubt, and others may even try to dismiss or diminish the very thing that God has placed on your heart. This is not because they are inherently malicious, but because they are not in tune with the spiritual depth of what is happening in your life. What is meaningful to you, what is life-altering for you, may not yet be understood by those around you. In these moments, your silence is an act of protection, not just for yourself, but for the sanctity of the journey you are on with God. There is a peace that comes with trusting God's timing. It frees you from the need to explain yourself or seek validation from others. When you rest in the knowledge that God is in control, you no longer feel the pressure to share everything that is happening within you. You understand that not every part of your journey needs an audience. Some things are meant to be worked out in the secret place of your relationship with God. In these moments of quiet, in the stillness of your spirit, you are being prepared for something greater. The dreams God has given you are being refined, the visions are being sharpened, and your faith is being strengthened. One of the greatest tests of faith is the ability to wait in silence. The world equates action with progress, noise with significance, and visibility with success. But God's ways are different. In His kingdom, growth often happens in the unseen places. Like a seed buried in the soil, your spiritual growth occurs in the quiet, dark places where no one can see. It is in these moments that your roots go deep, that your character is formed, and that your trust in God is solidified. When you learn to embrace the silence, you are not just waiting passively, you are actively trusting that God is at work, even when you cannot see it. This kind of trust requires a deep sense of security in your identity as God's chosen one. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone. You do not need to explain or justify the path you are on. You are walking in step with the Almighty, and that is enough. In the quietness of your heart, you can hear His voice more clearly, guiding you, comforting you, and directing your steps. When you are constantly sharing, explaining, or seeking validation, the noise of the world can drown out the voice of God. But in the silence, His voice becomes your anchor, steadying you in the midst of uncertainty. As you walk this path, you will also discover that silence is not a sign of weakness but of strength. It takes great courage to hold back when the world is pushing you to speak. It takes wisdom to know when to reveal and when to remain silent. And it takes faith to trust that God's timing is perfect, even when you are eager to share the wonderful things He is doing in your life. This kind of strength is not found in the world's definition of power, but in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are in Christ. There is also a spiritual power in keeping certain things hidden until the right moment. When you move in silence, you are operating in a realm of faith that defies the natural. You are trusting that God will bring about the fulfillment of His promises in His time, without the need for human intervention. This kind of faith is powerful because it is rooted in the unseen. It is the kind of faith that pleases God, for without faith, it is impossible to please Him. When you keep certain things between you and God, you are exercising this faith, trusting that He is working behind the scenes in ways that you cannot yet see. This kind of discretion builds your spiritual discernment. You become more attuned to the leading of the Holy Spirit, more sensitive to His guidance. You learn to recognize when it is time to speak and when it is time to remain silent. This discernment is a gift, and it grows stronger the more you practice it. As you walk in obedience to the prompting of the Spirit, you will find that He leads you into greater wisdom, greater understanding, and greater depth in your relationship with God. The things you keep to yourself are not about secrecy for its own sake, but about honoring the sacredness of your relationship with God. It is about recognizing that some things are too precious to be shared before their time. It is about understanding that your journey with God is unique, and not everyone will understand it. And it is about trusting that God, in His infinite wisdom, knows the perfect time for everything to be revealed. As you continue on this path, may you find peace in the silence, strength in the waiting, and joy in the intimate moments you share with your Creator. May you walk confidently, knowing that you are chosen, loved, and guided by the One who holds all things in His hands. And may you always remember that some of the most powerful things in life are not spoken but lived. In the quiet journey of being one of God's chosen, there is a profound strength in keeping sacred things close to your heart. It is in the moments of silence, of waiting on God's perfect timing, that your faith deepens and your spirit strengthens. What you withhold is not out of secrecy, but out of reverence for the divine process unfolding in your life. As you trust God's wisdom, you walk in His purpose, knowing that what is meant to be revealed will come forth in His appointed time. Until then, hold on to the peace that comes from the stillness, knowing that the treasures of your heart are safe in the hands of the One who called you. When you wake up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., know that you are being called into the depths of your own being. This sacred hour is not mere chance, it is an invitation from the divine to engage with the inner world, the source of all creation. In this moment, when the world is still and quiet, your mind is free from the distractions of the day. Your consciousness is perfectly aligned with the higher plane, and what you choose to do in this space will echo in your reality. First, acknowledge that this is a time of stillness and deep receptivity. Do not rush to get back to sleep, but instead enter into a state of awareness. As you lie in bed, feel the silence around you, the peace that envelops everything. This is the moment to turn inward, to recognize that you are more than just a physical body. You are the consciousness that creates your experience. Relax into this awareness. Let go of any tension, any need to control. In this state of calm, you are most attuned to the whispers of the divine, to the guidance that comes not in words but in feelings and impressions. Once you have quieted your mind, bring your attention to the desires of your heart. What is it that you long for? What is it that you seek to manifest in your life? Do not approach these desires from a place of lack, but from a place of knowing. In this sacred hour, imagine yourself already possessing the things you desire. See yourself as the person who already has what you seek. Feel it with every fiber of your being. As you do this, you are impressing your subconscious mind with the vision of your fulfilled desires, and in time, the outer world will conform to this inner reality. As you feel the truth of your desires, express gratitude, not just for what you have now, but for what is yet to come. Gratitude is the bridge between your current reality and the life you are creating. It is the affirmation that what you seek is already yours in the unseen world. In this early hour, in this quiet moment, thank the divine for your health, your abundance, your peace, and every blessing you have called into existence. You are not waiting for these things, you are living in the certainty that they are already yours. In this sacred time, between the hours of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., you are closest to the divine. When you wake up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., it is not by accident, nor is it merely a disturbance in your sleep. This moment is a profound calling, a gentle nudge from the universe that beckons you to connect deeply with your inner self. In these early hours, when the rest of the world remains shrouded in sleep, the veil between the physical and spiritual realms is thinnest. The quiet stillness invites you to engage with the vast potential that resides within you. It is here in this sacred window of time that you can access the power of creation, the source from which all things are born. You may feel that waking during these hours is inconvenient or disruptive, but consider the possibility that this is a divine opportunity. The universe communicates with us in whispers, not shouts, and those whispers often come when our conscious mind is least preoccupied. In the silence of this hour, distractions fall away, and you are left with the pure essence of your being, the creative force that shapes your reality. You are being invited to step into alignment with this force, to co-create with the divine, to become an active participant in the unfolding of your life. As you wake and find yourself in this moment, resist the urge to immediately drift back to sleep. Instead, recognize this as a time for quiet reflection and deep introspection. Settle into the stillness. Become aware of your surroundings, the soft sounds, the rhythm of your breath, the quiet hum of existence. This is not just physical stillness, it is an invitation to quiet your mind. The noise of daily life, the chatter of thoughts and worries, has no place here. In this silence, you will find the doorway to deeper consciousness, the place where true creation begins. In this moment of stillness, it is crucial to become aware of your own consciousness, to recognize that you are the creator of your experience. The external world you see is merely a reflection of your internal state. It is here, in the quiet hours of the morning, that you can most easily access the infinite power within you to shape your reality. Begin by relaxing deeply into your awareness. Feel your body sink into the bed, releasing any tension or worry that may linger from the day. As you let go, you open yourself to the flow of divine energy that is always available to you. Now, with your mind quiet and your body at ease, turn your attention to your desires. What is it that you wish to manifest in your life? What are the things you seek to bring into being? Understand that the desires you hold are not random, they are whispers from the divine, indicators of the life you are meant to create. But it is essential that you approach these desires not from a place of longing or lack, but from a place of certainty. In these early hours, your consciousness is most receptive to the power of imagination, and it is through imagination that your desires take form. Close your eyes and begin to imagine your desires as already fulfilled. See yourself living the life you have dreamed of, the life that aligns with your deepest aspirations. Do not simply see it as a distant possibility, feel it as your present reality. Engage all your senses. If you seek abundance, feel the weight of money in your hand, the comfort of security in your heart. If you seek love, feel the warmth of companionship, the joy of connection. If you seek peace, breathe in the tranquility, the calm that washes over you. This is not a mere exercise in wishful thinking, it is the conscious creation of your future. In these moments of visualization, you are impressing your subconscious mind with the images of your fulfilled desires. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It accepts whatever you impress upon it as truth. By repeatedly visualizing your desires as already accomplished, you are planting the seeds that will, in time, manifest in your physical reality. The outer world must, by law, reflect the inner state of your consciousness. What you imagine in these sacred hours will eventually become your lived experience. But visualization alone is not enough. It is important to align your emotional state with the reality you are creating. Feel the emotions that come with the fulfillment of your desires. If you are manifesting success, feel the pride, the joy, the satisfaction that comes with it. If you are manifesting health, feel the vitality, the energy, the strength in your body. Emotions are the fuel that powers manifestation. They are the magnetic force that draws your desires from the realm of the unseen into the physical world. In these early morning hours, your emotions are heightened, your mind is clear, and your ability to feel deeply is magnified. Use this time to fully embody the emotions of your fulfilled desires. As you immerse yourself in the feelings of your desires, remember that the key to manifestation is faith. You must believe with every fiber of your being that what you desire is already yours. There can be no room for doubt or hesitation. The divine is not concerned with time, with the how or the when. It operates on a higher plane beyond the limitations of the physical world. Your role is not to worry about the details, but to trust that the universe is working in perfect harmony to bring your desires to fruition. In this sacred hour, let go of any need for control and surrender fully to the flow of divine energy. Know that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Once you have visualized your desires and aligned yourself emotionally with their fulfillment, the final step is to express gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It is the recognition that you are already abundant, already blessed, already whole. When you express gratitude for the things you have yet to receive, you are affirming their existence in the spiritual realm. You are acknowledging that what you seek is already on its way to you. In this moment of stillness, as you lie awake in the early hours of the morning, give thanks for the blessings that are already yours. Feel the gratitude in your heart and let it radiate out into the universe. Gratitude is not just an act of politeness, it is a state of being. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from desire to fulfillment. When you live in a state of gratitude, you open yourself to receiving even more. The universe responds to gratitude by giving you more to be grateful for. In these sacred hours, when the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds is thin, your gratitude is amplified. It sends out a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive all that you have asked for. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds. As you drift back to sleep, carry this sense of peace, gratitude, and fulfillment with you. Know that you have done the work, that you have aligned yourself with the divine flow of creation. Trust that the seeds you have planted in your subconscious mind will take root and grow. You do not need to force anything into being, you simply need to remain in alignment with the energy of your desires. The universe will take care of the rest. When you wake up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., it is a reminder that you are more than just a physical being living in a material world. You are a divine creator capable of shaping your reality with your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. This is a time to reconnect with that truth, to remember that you are not separate from the divine, but an expression of it. In these early morning hours, you are given the opportunity to step into your power, to align yourself with the infinite potential that resides within you. Let each waking moment during these hours serve as a reminder that you are in constant communion with the divine. The universe is always listening, always responding to the frequency of your thoughts and emotions. Use this time wisely. Reflect on your desires, feel their fulfillment, and give thanks for the life you are creating. In this quiet hour, you are closest to the divine source of all creation, and in that space, all things are possible. Embrace the quiet, embrace the stillness, and trust in the process of creation. The life you desire is not something distant or unattainable. It is already within you, waiting to be called forth. In these sacred hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., you have the power to shape your reality, to bring your dreams into being. Wake up and remember who you truly are. As you lie there in the stillness of the early morning between the hours of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., realize that you are existing in a state of perfect alignment with flow of creation. You are standing at the threshold of immense possibility. Everything in the universe is energy, and in this time, when the external world is quiet and peaceful, the energy is particularly potent, vibrating with clarity and purity. This is the hour when the distractions of the day have subsided, and you are able to focus purely on the inner world, the place where your desires are born and where your reality is shaped. As you wake, there is often a subtle shift in awareness, a moment when you are neither fully asleep nor fully awake. This space, this gap in consciousness, is where your subconscious mind is most accessible. The ego, with all its fears, doubts, and concerns, is momentarily quiet, allowing the deeper part of you, the part that is connected to the infinite source, to emerge. In this sacred space, you have the opportunity to influence your subconscious in profound ways. What you impress upon it in this moment will reverberate throughout your waking life, shaping the circumstances, relationships, and events you encounter. Recognize that the subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, more so than the conscious mind. It is the seat of your beliefs, your habits, and your deepest programming. It governs your automatic responses, the way you interact with the world, and the outcomes you experience. However, the subconscious is also malleable. It is constantly being shaped by the thoughts and feelings you entertain. In this quiet hour, when your subconscious is open and receptive, you have a rare opportunity to influence it deliberately, to plant the seeds of the life you wish to create. This is why it is so important in these early hours to choose your thoughts carefully. The thoughts you entertain in this state are particularly powerful, as they bypass the filter of the conscious mind and go straight to the subconscious, where they take root and grow. Begin by noticing the quality of your thoughts as you wake. Are they aligned with the life you desire, or do they reflect old fears and limitations? If you find that your thoughts are not aligned with your desires, gently guide them in a new direction. You have the power to choose your thoughts, to focus on what you want rather than what you fear. As you lie there, use this time to consciously engage with the process of creation. Begin by imagining your ideal life, the life that aligns with your highest vision of yourself. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Imagine the details, the people, the experiences, the places. Engage all your senses in this visualization. What does it look like, feel like, sound like to live this life? Let the vision become so vivid that it feels real, as though you are already living it. This is not merely daydreaming, it is an act of creation. You are impressing these images upon your subconscious mind, which will, in turn, shape your reality to match the images you hold. In this process, it is essential to feel the emotions associated with your vision. The subconscious mind responds not just to images, but to feelings. Feel the joy, the excitement, the fulfillment that comes with living the life of your dreams. These emotions are the key to unlocking the power of your subconscious. They are the language it understands. As you feel these emotions, you are sending a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready to receive what you have asked for. You are aligning yourself vibrationally with the life you desire, and in doing so, you are drawing it toward you. But even as you visualize and feel your desires, there must be a sense of faith, a deep, unshakable knowing that what you desire is already yours. This faith is the bridge between your inner world and your outer reality. It is the certainty that the universe is always working in your favor, even when you cannot see the results immediately. Faith is not passive, it is active, dynamic. It is the inner conviction that the laws of the universe are always at work, that your thoughts and feelings are shaping your reality, and that everything you need will come to you in perfect timing. Faith is not concerned with appearances. It does not waver in the face of external circumstances. It knows that the outer world is simply a reflection of the inner world, and that by changing your inner state, you can change your outer reality. In these quiet hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., cultivate this faith. Let it grow within you, not as a vague hope, but as a deep, unwavering certainty. Know that what you desire is already on its way to you, even if you cannot see it yet. Trust in the process of creation. Trust that the universe is always conspiring to bring you exactly what you need when you need it. Once you have visualized your desires and felt the emotions associated with them, take a moment to express gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It is the recognition that you are already blessed, already abundant, already whole. So, when you express gratitude, you are affirming that you have already received what you desire, even if it has not yet manifested in the physical world. This attitude of gratitude sends a powerful signal to the universe, reinforcing the reality of your desires and drawing them closer to you. As you express gratitude, feel it in your heart. Let it wash over you like a wave, filling you with warmth and joy. This is not just a mental exercise, it is an emotional state. When you feel gratitude deeply, you are aligning yourself with the flow of the universe, opening yourself to receive even more blessings. In this state of gratitude, you are magnetic to your desires. The universe responds to the energy you put out, and when you radiate gratitude, you attract more of what you are grateful for. And as you move through this process, remember the power of surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up or resigning yourself to fate. It means letting go of the need to control every detail, trusting that the universe knows the best way to bring your desires to fruition. In these early hours, as you wake and engage with your inner world, allow yourself to surrender to the flow of life. Trust that what is meant for you will come to you in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Let go of any attachment to how your desires will manifest, and simply focus on aligning yourself with the energy of your desires. In this state of surrender, you are not passive, you are actively co-creating with the universe. You are allowing the flow of divine energy to guide you, trusting that everything is working out for your highest good. Surrender is the ultimate act of faith, the recognition that you are part of a greater whole, and that the universe is always supporting you in your journey. As you surrender, you release resistance, allowing your desires to manifest with ease and grace. As the minutes pass and you feel the urge to return to sleep, carry this sense of peace and alignment with you. Know that the work you have done in this sacred hour will continue to unfold as you sleep. Your subconscious mind will keep working on the seeds you have planted, nurturing them and helping them grow. You do not need to force anything, you simply need to trust that the process is already underway. As you drift back into slumber, let yourself feel the deep, quiet knowing that everything is already working out in your favor. And when you wake again later in the morning, carry this energy with you. Let the peace and clarity you cultivated in the early hours infuse your day. Remember that you are always creating, always shaping your reality with your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. The work you do in the early morning hours sets the tone for your entire day, and by extension, your entire life. Each time you wake between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., you are being given the gift of creation, the opportunity to consciously shape your future. Embrace this time as a sacred moment of communion with the divine, a chance to align yourself with the infinite power of the universe. In this quiet hour, you are reminded of who you truly are, a creator, a divine being capable of manifesting anything you desire. Wake up and step into your power. As you slip back into that stillness between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., understand that this is the time when the veil between your conscious and subconscious minds is thinnest. You are not merely waking from a night's sleep, you are awakening into a powerful state of possibility. The external world remains quiet. The distractions of daily life have not yet begun, and in this space, there is a profound opportunity to commune with the deeper aspects of your being. This is the time to remind yourself of your connection to the infinite and to recognize the immense creative potential that resides within you. When you find yourself waking in these early hours, take a moment to simply observe. Notice how calm everything is, how still the world feels. It is in this stillness that creation occurs. In the outer world, there is no movement, no chaos, but within you, the possibilities are limitless. Your thoughts, your feelings, your inner dialogue, these are the tools with which you create your reality. And in these early morning hours, you have direct access to the most fertile ground for planting the seeds of your desires, your subconscious mind. This is the time to remind yourself that nothing in your life is fixed or permanent. Every situation, every challenge, every triumph is a reflection of the inner state you hold. If you want to change the outer conditions of your life, the work must begin within. And what better time to begin this work than in the early morning, when the mind is still and receptive, when the energy of creation is most potent. This is the time to direct your thoughts with purpose, to shape your inner world in alignment with your highest vision. Begin by acknowledging the power you hold. In this moment, as you lie in bed, you are a co-creator with the universe. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold has the power to shape your reality. The world you experience is not something that happens to you, it is something that is created through you. And this creation begins in the mind, in the thoughts and feelings you entertain in these quiet moments. You might notice that upon waking during these hours, your mind is not yet cluttered with the concerns of the day. There is a purity to your consciousness, a space in which you can direct your focus without distraction. Take advantage of this. Use this time to consciously choose the thoughts you want to hold. Instead of allowing your mind to drift to the worries, fears, and doubts that may arise, gently guide it toward thoughts of abundance, love, and possibility. Your mind is like a garden, and these early hours are the perfect time to plant seeds of positivity and growth. As you begin to consciously choose your thoughts, visualize the life you desire. Do not simply think about it in vague terms, see it clearly, in vivid detail. What does it look like? How does it feel to live the life you truly want? Allow yourself to fully experience this vision, as though it is already your reality. This is not merely a mental exercise, it is an act of creation. The images and feelings you hold in this state are being impressed upon your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind will work tirelessly to bring them into physical form. In these moments, you are aligning yourself with the frequency of your desires. You are becoming a match for the life you want to create. And as you do this, you are sending a powerful signal out into the universe, a signal that says, I am ready to receive. This is the essence of manifestation. It is not about asking for what you want and hoping it will come. It is about aligning yourself with the energy of having already received it. As you continue to hold this vision and these feelings, know that you are doing the work of creation. You are not waiting for something outside of yourself to change, you are changing from within. And as you change within, the outer world must reflect that change. This is a law of the universe, as certain as gravity. What you hold in your mind and heart will eventually manifest in your physical reality. There may be times when doubt creeps in. You may wonder if what you are doing is really making a difference. You may feel impatient, wanting to see immediate results. But in these moments, remind yourself that faith is an essential part of the creative process. Faith is the knowing that what you have asked for is already yours, even if you cannot yet see it. It is the trust that the universe is always working in your favor, even when the results are not immediately visible. Faith is not passive, it is active. It is a dynamic, living energy that sustains you as you move toward your desires. In these early hours, as you engage in this process of creation, cultivate your faith. Let it be a deep, unshakable knowing that everything you desire is already on its way to you. Do not concern yourself with how or when it will come. Trust that the universe knows the perfect way to bring your desires to fruition, and that everything will unfold in divine timing. And as you lie there, basking in the feeling of your desires already being fulfilled, take a moment to express gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from what is missing to what is already present. When you express gratitude, you are acknowledging that you are already blessed, already abundant, already whole. This shifts your vibration, aligning you even more with the energy of receiving. Gratitude also opens the door for more blessings to flow into your life. The more you focus on what you are grateful for, the more you will attract things to be grateful for. In this sacred time between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., take a moment to deeply appreciate the blessings in your life. Appreciate the lessons you have learned, the growth you have experienced, and the opportunities that are yet to come. As you do this, feel the energy of gratitude filling your heart, expanding outward, and touching every aspect of your life. And in this state of gratitude, remember the power of surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up, it means releasing the need to control every aspect of how your desires will manifest. It means trusting that the universe has a perfect plan, and that this plan is unfolding in ways that you may not yet understand. Surrender is the ultimate act of faith, the knowing that what is meant for you will come to you in the perfect way and at the perfect time. As you lie there, in the stillness of the early morning, surrender to the flow of life. Release any attachment to how your desires will manifest, and simply focus on the feeling of having already received them. Trust that the universe is always working in your favor, even when you cannot see the path ahead. Trust that the seeds you are planting in your subconscious mind are already taking root, and that in time they will grow into the reality you desire. And as the moments pass and you feel the urge to drift back into sleep, carry this sense of peace and alignment with you. Know that the work you have done in these sacred hours will continue to unfold as you sleep. Your subconscious mind will keep working on the images and feelings you have impressed upon it, shaping your reality in ways you cannot yet see. There is nothing more you need to do in this moment. You have done the work of creation, and now you can trust that the universe will take care of the rest. When you wake later in the morning, remember the energy you cultivated in these early hours. Carry it with you throughout the day. Let the peace, the clarity, and the sense of alignment you created infuse everything you do. Remember that you are always creating, always shaping your reality with your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And each time you wake between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., know that you are being given a precious opportunity to consciously shape your future. This time is a gift, a reminder of your power as a creator. Embrace it and use it to align yourself with the highest vision of your life. You are not limited by the circumstances of your past or the conditions of your present. You are a divine being capable of manifesting anything you desire. Wake up and step into the fullness of your creative power. And so, as you awaken between these quiet hours, let yourself become fully aware of the vastness within you, a vastness that contains every possibility. You are not separate from the infinite potential of creation, rather, you are a unique expression of it. In these sacred hours, you become not just a participant, but a conscious director of life's unfolding. Every image you hold, every belief you nurture, every intention you declare reverberates beyond what is immediately visible, entering the unseen realms of manifestation. It is in this early morning space that you can feel your oneness with the creative force, allowing yourself to exist beyond any limitations. At this hour, the limits imposed by the physical world, by the doubts and conditions of the mind, fade into the background. What remains is the purity of your consciousness, a field of energy ripe for creation. As you embrace this awareness, you recognize that everything begins in this unseen realm. What you see in your life is only a shadow, a reflection of what has been deeply embedded within you. You hold the power to reshape this inner landscape at will. Let this understanding empower you to choose wisely what thoughts and feelings you entertain. Observe each one as it rises within you, then gently release the ones that do not align with the vision you hold. Every thought is like a brushstroke on the canvas of your life, and you have the privilege of creating something beautiful and transformative. If at times feelings of doubt, fear, or unworthiness emerge, welcome them with compassion and allow them to fade. You are not your fears, you are the creator who can replace these doubts with strength, joy, and purpose. As you hold in your mind the image of your desired life, allow it to become increasingly vivid. See yourself living as the person who has already manifested all they desire. How does this future self feel? What beliefs do they hold? How do they carry themselves in the world? Connect deeply with this version of yourself, for they are not distant or separate from you. They are simply a version of you that has come into alignment with the true potential that exists within. Let yourself merge with this self, knowing that every time you do, you bring yourself closer to realizing this potential in your waking life. Know that each time you revisit this vision, you are creating powerful patterns in your subconscious mind. These patterns become the foundation upon which your reality is built. The subconscious mind is immensely receptive during these early hours, absorbing every impression without resistance. It does not question, it does not judge, it simply accepts and brings forth what is given to it. Let this awareness be your assurance. Know that every loving, positive, expansive thought you hold at this hour is like a seed being planted in the fertile soil of your mind, destined to grow into the experiences of your life. Consider too the power of words spoken in silence. Even if you do not physically speak, the words you say in your heart with conviction and love hold a tremendous creative force. Use affirmations to reinforce your intentions. Tell yourself, I am worthy of all that I desire. I am a divine creator, and my life is filled with joy, peace, and abundance. Speak these truths as though they are already part of your reality, and feel the resonance of each word within you. The subconscious mind responds to the vibration of certainty. It aligns itself with whatever you accept as true. By affirming your worthiness, you give yourself permission to receive the blessings that are already awaiting you. In this sacred space of early morning, remind yourself that there is no separation between you and the life you dream of. You are not striving to reach it, you are allowing it to emerge from within. The dream is already present in its entirety within you. It is simply a matter of aligning your inner world so that the outer world can mirror it. Your desires are not random or ungrounded, they are divine impulses guiding you toward the full expression of who you truly are. Trust these impulses, knowing that they are whispers from your soul, urging you to step into the fullness of your being. As you move through these practices, allow yourself to feel gratitude, not only for what you have, but for all that is yet to come. Gratitude is a bridge connecting the present with the future, the seen with the unseen. By expressing gratitude for the blessings you have yet to receive, you signal to the universe that they are already yours, that you are open and ready to embrace them fully. Let this gratitude fill you with peace, knowing that everything you seek is on its way, drawn to you by the magnetic power of your belief. When you wake up in these hours, you have the rare chance to redefine your reality. As you continue with this practice, day by day, you may notice subtle changes in how you feel, in how life responds to you. Perhaps the challenges that once seemed overwhelming begin to feel manageable, or the path to your desires becomes clearer. Trust these shifts, knowing that they are signs of alignment. They are indications that your inner work is bearing fruit, that your conscious creations are beginning to take shape in the world around you. Remain patient with the process. There may be mornings when you feel resistance or when the vision seems distant. Know that this is part of the journey. Creation is not always a linear path. It is a dance between faith and surrender, between intention and acceptance. Even on the days when it feels challenging, remind yourself that every moment spent in alignment, however small, is bringing you closer to the life you desire. You are laying the foundation brick by brick, moment by moment. As you continue this journey, you will find that these early morning hours become a sanctuary, a time to reconnect with your higher self and to remember your power. This practice is not just about manifesting material desires, it is about becoming who you were always meant to be. It is about shedding the layers of doubt, fear, and limitation, and revealing the true essence of your being. You are not just a creator of things, you are a creator of self. And every time you wake between these hours, you are being invited to step deeper into this truth. Allow this truth to guide you, to remind you of the infinite potential within. Embrace each morning as a new beginning, a fresh opportunity to create, to grow, and to align with your highest vision. This is your time, a sacred moment between you and the universe, where all things are possible, and where you can shape your life according to your deepest desires. Trust in this process, trust in yourself, and trust that the universe is always responding to the love, the faith, and the vision that you hold within. As you sit in the stillness of the early morning, you'll come to understand that this hour is a gateway, a sacred opening through which you can commune with the depths of your own mind and spirit. It's a time when the world is hushed, and your awareness of the outer world softens, leaving you alone with your inner landscape. The limitations of the day-to-day dissolve. Here you are left only with the expansiveness of what's possible within you. Between these hours, you're not constrained by past decisions, roles, or the expectations of others. You stand at a profound threshold where all that you envision can be brought to life simply by connecting deeply with it. This is the time to focus on the relationship between your inner thoughts and the reality they create. When you open your eyes at this hour, your consciousness is closer to the realm of dreams, where you've been traveling, free from the constraints of physical life. And here the subconscious is most receptive, like fertile soil ready to receive whatever seeds you choose to plant. Be mindful of what you let in. Hold on to visions that are pure, expansive, and aligned with the essence of who you want to become. Picture yourself not just as you are, but as you wish to be. See yourself living a life filled with love, prosperity, and purpose. Imagine, for instance, that you desire peace and security. Feel this deeply within yourself. Bring up images of a life where you are at ease, where abundance flows to you effortlessly, where love surrounds you. Allow this vision to be vivid and real, filled with sensations and emotions. Envision your future self walking confidently, speaking with warmth, and radiating inner calm. Feel this reality as if it's already here. Let the sensations fill every cell, knowing that this inner creation is the beginning of its manifestation. The subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what is imagined with full conviction and what is happening in the physical world. This is why visualizations at this hour are so powerful. They are received as truths by the subconscious, which then begins to bring them forth. In this moment, you're reminded that life is not a series of random events, but a tapestry woven from your consistent thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Every belief you hold creates a ripple, a vibration that echoes into the world and calls forth experiences that mirror it. When you become conscious of this, you realize the power you have. If you believe yourself to be limited, to be at the mercy of circumstances, you will manifest situations that confirm this belief. But if you shift, if you allow yourself to believe in your limitless potential, in your ability to attract all that you desire, the world around you begins to shift in response. Allow yourself, during these sacred hours, to let go of limiting beliefs that no longer serve you. Maybe you've been holding on to the idea that you aren't good enough, that certain dreams are beyond your reach, or that love and prosperity are reserved for others. This is the time to see these beliefs for what they are: constructs of the mind, formed by past experiences, perhaps inherited from others, but not the truth of your being. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, letting go of any tension. Feel the weight of these limiting beliefs dissolve, making way for new, empowering beliefs to take root. The power of this practice lies in repetition. Each morning that you wake between these hours and reconnect with your vision, you are reinforcing it, making it stronger, more solid in the fabric of your mind. Over time, the energy you cultivate in these moments begins to radiate out into your waking hours. You may find yourself feeling lighter, freer, more confident. You may notice that the people and opportunities that align with your vision appear with greater ease. This is not coincidence, it is the law of consciousness in action. You are attuning yourself to a higher frequency, and life responds in kind. In the stillness, you can begin to sense your connection to something greater. Call it divine intelligence, universal energy, or simply the creative force. It is ever present, ever supportive, and always available to you. This energy is like a river flowing through your consciousness, carrying with it infinite potential. As you visualize, affirm, and connect with your deepest desires, you are stepping into the flow of this river, allowing yourself to be carried toward the life you envision. Trust that this power is benevolent, that it desires your fulfillment and joy. and that it is ready to support your every step. Between these hours, let yourself drift gently into gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful force that aligns you with the energy of abundance. Instead of focusing on what is lacking, shift your attention to what is already here, however small it may seem. The warmth of your bed, the stillness of the room, the breath moving in and out of your body. These moments of appreciation open your heart, lifting your vibration and attracting even more blessings into your life. This is the beauty of gratitude. It transforms your state of being, reminding you that you are already blessed, already whole. This practice becomes a doorway to self-discovery. As you spend time with yourself in this way, you may start to see new aspects of yourself emerging. Perhaps you feel a longing for something more meaningful, a desire to connect with others, or to express a gift that has long been dormant within you. Listen to these inner whispers, for they are guidance from your highest self, pointing you toward a life of greater fulfillment. Every desire, every impulse that arises from this place of clarity is a beacon guiding you toward your true path. As you cultivate this practice, you will notice that it affects not only your mornings but your entire day. With each sunrise, you are more grounded, more centered, and more in tune with yourself. You may find that challenges which once felt overwhelming become opportunities for growth. Relationships become more harmonious as the love and peace you cultivate within radiate outwards, touching everyone you encounter. Life becomes not just something that happens to you, but a creation that you actively shape. You are not alone in this journey. Every soul has access to this same creative power, this same limitless potential. By aligning with your true self during these early hours, you inspire others to do the same. Your life becomes a testament to what is possible when one lives from a place of intention and love. You become a light in the world, a reminder to others that they too are powerful creators. Every day is a new beginning. Each morning between these hours, you have the chance to release what no longer serves you and embrace what empowers you. Trust in this process, for it is a gentle unfolding, a journey back to the truth of who you are. In the quiet hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., you are granted the gift of creation, a sacred time to align with your deepest desires and highest self. Embrace each awakening as a divine invitation to rewrite your reality, to plant seeds of intention and gratitude, and to connect with the infinite potential that lies within. Remember, every thought, every feeling, and every vision you nurture in this peaceful space resonates far beyond these early hours, shaping the unfolding of your life. Trust that you are always creating, and that the universe is ever responsive to your inner world. Stand firm in this truth. You hold the power to manifest a life of joy, purpose, and abundance, for all that you desire is already within reach. When you feel a deep, inexplicable sense of peace, it's often a sign that God is showing you that you're on the right path. In a world where peace can feel elusive, finding it within your journey is not by accident. This peace isn't mere quietness, it's a profound calmness that remains with you, regardless of external circumstances. God's hand steadies you, reassuring you that you're moving according to His plan. When we feel this peace, it's a gentle whisper from God, encouraging us to continue in faith, knowing He is walking beside us. Another sign is the presence of purpose-filled opportunities that align with your heart's desires. When doors open unexpectedly, and the path becomes clear before you, understand that God is placing you where He wants you to be. It's not about convenience or personal ambition, but about a divinely orchestrated alignment. You may encounter people or resources that elevate you toward your calling, often at the very moment you need them most. These moments are invitations to trust in the timing and power of God's guidance, reminding you that He is actively working in your life. At times, you may feel a renewed sense of strength, even when you thought you had reached your limit. There's a divine energy within you that arises, especially in difficult times, making you resilient and more determined. This strength doesn't come from worldly motivation, but rather from a deeper source, God's power within you. When challenges come and you rise above them, Know that this strength is His assurance. Each step forward, even in adversity, is God saying, "You are exactly where I want you to be." A growing clarity of vision is also a sign that God is revealing your path. What once seemed vague and uncertain now appears focused and unmistakable. You start to see patterns and lessons in the events of your life, as if God is highlighting them for you. This clarity allows you to make decisions with confidence, knowing that your choices align with a higher purpose. It's as though God is lifting the veil, showing you glimpses of what lies ahead and confirming that you're on His appointed path. You'll feel an unshakable faith that keeps you anchored even amid doubts. Faith becomes your foundation, guiding your thoughts and actions. When things don't go as planned, this faith reminds you that God's ways are higher than yours. You start to trust His process without needing to understand every detail. This faith is God's voice within you, affirming that you are on the right path, urging you forward with the assurance that He holds your future and has already paved the way. Through this inner knowing, God's message is clear: you are exactly where you need to be. When you feel a deep, inexplicable sense of peace, it's often a sign that God is showing you that you're on the right path. In a world where peace can feel elusive, finding it within your journey is not by accident. This peace isn't mere quietness, it's a profound calmness that remains with you regardless of external circumstances. It's a steady assurance that transcends logical understanding and grounds you, even when life seems to throw its challenges your way. God's hand steadies you, reassuring you that you are moving according to His plan. When we feel this peace, it's a gentle whisper from God, encouraging us to continue in faith, knowing He is walking beside us. Every time you encounter an unshakable calm in a season where you might have once felt anxious or afraid, it's God's way of telling you that you're not alone on this journey. His presence becomes your foundation, a reminder that no matter what lies ahead, He has equipped you to handle it. This peace is a gift, and it allows you to approach situations with clarity, kindness, and patience. When you're on the right path, God ensures that you are not disturbed by the storms around you. You see them, acknowledge them, but they don't consume you. Instead, you walk forward with a heart full of confidence, because there is a knowing within you, a deep-seated belief that God's plan is unfolding exactly as it should. You recognize that this peace comes not from things going perfectly, but from a deeper connection, a sense of being held and protected. And in moments when this peace fills your heart, it's as if God Himself is saying, "This is where you are meant to be. Trust in my plan, for I am with you." Another sign is the presence of purpose-filled opportunities that align with your heart's desires. When doors open unexpectedly and the path becomes clear before you, understand that God is placing you where He wants you to be. It's not about convenience or personal ambition, but about a divinely orchestrated alignment. These opportunities may appear as if by coincidence, but in truth, they are God's designed moments arranged to fit the deepest longings and callings in your spirit. They arrive just when you're ready to embrace them, and often just when you've reached a place of surrender, trusting that whatever is meant for you will find you. God's timing is never early or late. It's perfect. And when He opens a door, you will know it is meant for you because it won't require force or compromise. In these moments, it's as though the world becomes your classroom. You encounter people who share your vision, resources that support your journey, and experiences that shape your understanding. Each new door opened is an invitation to trust, to grow, and to step into the fullness of what God has planned. The beauty of purpose-driven opportunities is that they bring you closer to the person you are meant to be. You feel a sense of belonging and alignment that goes beyond any fleeting achievement. It's as if every detail has been orchestrated to support your mission, and you can sense God's guidance through the smallest of signs. You might not always understand why certain opportunities appear, but in the depths of your spirit, you recognize them as pieces of a divine puzzle. You step forward, knowing that the journey itself is holy ground, and each step brings you closer to the vision God has placed in your heart. At times, you may feel a renewed sense of strength, even when you thought you had reached your limit. There's a divine energy within you that arises, especially in difficult times, making you resilient and more determined. This strength doesn't come from worldly motivation, but rather from a deeper source, God's power within you. When challenges come and you rise above them, know that this strength is His assurance. Each step forward, even in adversity, is God saying, "You are exactly where I want you to be." When life tests you and you're still able to stand firm, you become a testament to God's power within you. You see yourself surpassing limits that you once believed were impossible. This newfound strength, this unyielding resilience, is God's reminder that you are equipped for the journey. The hardships you face are not to discourage you, but to refine you. With each trial, you discover layers of strength that you never knew existed. You come to realize that in your moments of weakness, God's strength is made perfect. You understand that while the world sees limitations, God sees potential. He is the quiet force behind every victory, the source of courage when fear whispers, and the unwavering power that carries you through each struggle. This strength is His way of saying, "I am with you, do not be afraid." And when you feel this power rising from within, you know you're exactly where you're meant to be, that your journey has divine purpose, and that you are indeed on the right path. A growing clarity of vision is also a sign that God is revealing your path. What once seemed vague and uncertain now appears focused and unmistakable. You start to see patterns and lessons in the events of your life, as if God is highlighting them for you. This clarity allows you to make decisions with confidence, knowing that your choices align with a higher purpose. You start to view life's occurrences not as random but as intentional. You see how past experiences, challenges, and even delays were all integral parts of preparing you for what's ahead. It's as though God is lifting the veil, showing you glimpses of what lies ahead and confirming that you're on His appointed path. You no longer need to chase validation from others, because within you sense that you're fulfilling a purpose beyond yourself. Your actions and decisions begin to resonate with a sense of integrity and alignment that only comes when you're following the path God has set for you. This clarity becomes your compass, guiding you through the fog of uncertainty and leading you to the destinations you once only dreamed of. And with each step, this vision sharpens, aligning more with God's blueprint for your life. You realize that He has been orchestrating everything all along. Each event, each connection, each closed door, and each opportunity are woven into the larger picture that God sees fully and completely. You'll feel an unshakable faith that keeps you anchored even amid doubts. Faith becomes your foundation, guiding your thoughts and actions. When things don't go as planned, this faith reminds you that God's ways are higher than yours. You start to trust His process without needing to understand every detail. This faith is God's voice within you, affirming that you are on the right path, urging you forward with the assurance that He holds your future and has already paved the way. Through this inner knowing, God's message is clear: you are exactly where you need to be. Faith becomes not just a belief, but a lived reality. It becomes the undercurrent of every step you take, every choice you make, and every moment of waiting. When you encounter setbacks, this faith steadies you, reminding you that delays are not denials. It allows you to rest in the promise that God is working even when you cannot see it. Faith teaches you patience, resilience, and trust in God's timing. You understand that your role is to walk in obedience, trusting that He is weaving all things together for your good. This faith frees you from the need to control, to force, or to hurry, for you know that what is meant for you will never pass you by. In moments of doubt, this faith whispers that God is still with you, that His plan remains unshaken, and that you are moving closer to the fulfillment of His promises. You realize that your journey, though filled with challenges and unknowns, is blessed. With this faith, you walk with a courage that defies logic, because you know that the one who has called you will also equip you. The journey itself becomes sacred, and you recognize that each step you take is bringing you closer to the fullness of God's plan. Through this unwavering faith, you carry the assurance that indeed you are exactly where you're supposed to be, walking the path He has laid out just for you. In every challenge and in every victory, there is a message of purpose, clarity, peace, strength, and faith, whispering that you are in God's care and moving toward the destiny He has designed for you. These signs are His silent affirmations, woven into your spirit, inviting you to continue with trust, knowing that His presence surrounds you always. When you sense an inner peace and calm that's unexplainable by worldly standards, it's not a coincidence, it's a signal from God. You may be surrounded by chaos, but there is a stillness within that steadies you, a profound tranquility that whispers, you are exactly where you need to be. This peace doesn't come from the absence of problems, but rather from the presence of God guiding you gently through them. In this state of serenity, you are able to look beyond present circumstances, finding comfort in the knowledge that you are on a divinely ordered path. Even when faced with difficult decisions or uncertainties, that peace is there, assuring you that God is by your side. This divine journey, while marked by these signs, is also one of continuous inner transformation. As you deepen in faith, you'll notice subtle shifts within, a gradual surrender to God's timing and a growing desire to align with His purpose. Each day as you witness these signs, it's as though God is drawing you closer, inviting you to understand that His plan is not just for your success or happiness, but for your inner peace, spiritual growth, and ultimate fulfillment. When peace becomes your companion, you realize it's more than just a fleeting emotion. It becomes a spiritual foundation. No longer do you rush through life seeking validation or striving to meet others' expectations. Instead, this peace anchors you. You feel the difference in your responses to life's trials. Rather than reacting with frustration or fear, you find yourself resting in a profound sense of calm. This peace is a message from God, assuring you that you are held, guided, and supported. With this sense of peace comes a new perspective. Obstacles appear not as roadblocks, but as part of the journey, shaping your character and fortifying your faith. It's a peace that whispers, even in the unknown, you are exactly where you need to be. This path doesn't shield you from hardship, but instead transforms how you perceive and handle challenges. You become more resilient, seeing trials as part of God's greater plan for your life. Each difficulty becomes an opportunity to draw closer to God, to lean into that peace and gain a new level of understanding. You begin to recognize that real peace is not tied to circumstances, but to your connection with God, to your unwavering trust that He is present, even in the most trying times. And through each test, you find that your faith is being refined, that you're growing stronger, wiser, and more attuned to God's voice. Opportunities, too, start to take on a different meaning. They are not merely fortunate occurrences or random chances. They appear with intention, as divine signals that affirm you are moving in harmony with God's purpose. When you truly listen, these opportunities are unmistakable. They arrive at moments when your spirit is ready to embrace them. Doors open, people appear, and resources emerge, not because of your striving, but because God has set them in place. And with each opportunity, you grow more confident that God's hand is on your life, leading you forward step by step. You begin to approach life with a sense of expectation, trusting that when God brings an opportunity, He has already equipped you to step into it. Each opportunity is a chance to grow, to serve, and to bring God's love and light into the world. They aren't just blessings for you, they are ways for you to bless others, to fulfill a purpose that reaches far beyond yourself. Through these moments, God reveals the intricate beauty of His plan, showing you how your gifts, talents, and experiences can come together to serve a higher purpose. And with each opportunity, you feel a renewed commitment to walk in faith, to honor the path He set for you. Even when you don't see the full picture, you understand that every opportunity is part of the divine tapestry that God is weaving in your life. Then there's the strength that seems to come out of nowhere, rising up in you like a wellspring when you feel you've reached the end of your own resources. This strength is one of the clearest signs that God is with you, sustaining you through every hardship and challenge. You may feel weary, faced with obstacles that seem insurmountable, yet this divine strength empowers you to keep moving forward. This is no ordinary strength. It is a testament to God's promise that He will never leave you nor forsake you. It is His way of saying, you are not alone, I am carrying you, and each time you lean into this strength, your faith deepens and your spirit grows more resilient. This strength teaches you reliance on God rather than on your own abilities. You learn to release the need for control, to stop relying on your own understanding, and instead trust that God's strength is sufficient. You start to see that what once would have broken you is now something you can overcome, not because of your own power, but because of the power that God has given you. And with each victory, no matter how small, you feel more assured that you are on the right path, that God's strength is guiding you toward the purpose He has set before you. This strength becomes a quiet confidence, a source of resilience that doesn't waver with life's uncertainties but remains steady, anchored in God's unfailing love. The clarity that comes with this journey is another profound gift. It's as if God is gradually lifting a veil, allowing you to see the purpose behind every season of your life. The dreams you once held, the relationships you've experienced, the setbacks you've endured all begin to make sense as they weave together to create a vision of God's plan for you. This clarity doesn't provide all the answers, but it offers a new level of understanding. You start to see your life not as a series of random events, but as a carefully crafted journey. Each experience, each lesson, and each moment is part of the bigger picture that God is revealing to you in His perfect timing. This clarity brings a sense of purpose and direction. No longer do you feel lost or aimless. You understand that every step has meaning, every choice significance. This clarity empowers you to walk with intention, to embrace each day knowing that you are part of a divine plan. It's a feeling of alignment, as though your heart and soul are finally in harmony with God's will. And as you continue to walk this path, you begin to discern more clearly what is for you and what is not, what aligns with God's purpose for your life and what doesn't. This clarity becomes a guiding light, helping you to make decisions that honor God's vision for you. Faith becomes the unshakable foundation of your life. It is a faith that is no longer dependent on outward circumstances, but rooted in a deep, abiding trust in God. This faith grows with each step you take, with each sign you witness. It is a faith that holds firm in the face of doubt, a faith that doesn't falter in times of uncertainty. You begin to understand that this faith is God's greatest gift, a bond between you and Him that strengthens with every trial, every victory, and every moment of surrender. This faith transforms how you view the world. You are no longer a passive participant in your life, but an active co-creator, partnering with God in bringing forth His purpose. This faith gives you the courage to pursue your dreams, knowing that God is guiding you, that He is shaping each experience to fulfill His higher purpose. You no longer need to see the whole path, because your faith assures you that God has already prepared the way. This faith becomes your compass, your strength, and your peace, guiding you through each season of life. As you continue on this journey, you realize that God's guidance is a constant presence, shaping your path and aligning your heart with His purpose. These signs, peace, opportunities, strength, clarity, and faith are God's way of saying you are on the right path. They remind you that you are deeply loved, purposefully guided, and divinely supported. And as you move forward, you do so with the unwavering confidence that God is with you, that each step you take is a step toward the life He has lovingly designed for you. Through every high and low, every joy and sorrow, you carry within you the assurance that you are exactly where you are meant to be, held in the loving hands of God, moving forward in faith, and fulfilling the beautiful purpose He has set for you. Embracing these signs, you no longer walk in uncertainty, but with a sense of divine alignment, knowing that each experience, each person you meet, and each opportunity you encounter is a part of God's intricate and purposeful design for your life. Your journey, once marked by doubt or hesitation, now unfolds with a quiet assurance, a deep understanding that God is guiding your every step. With each sign, you find a renewed strength to continue, a peace that surpasses understanding, and a faith that grows unbreakable with every passing day. The path may not always be easy, but with God's guidance, you know that it is the path meant for you, a path of purpose, love, and divine fulfillment. You begin to notice that this peace isn't fleeting, it remains a constant companion, following you through each season of life. You could be facing the unknown, encountering moments where doubt might naturally arise, but something deep within anchors you to a sense of quiet confidence. This is God's way of speaking to you, guiding you, and strengthening your faith. Every time you lean into that peace, you're reminded that your steps are in line with God's purpose, that you're walking the path He's lovingly designed for you. This peace becomes a compass, directing you to trust and rest in His timing, even when you don't fully understand it. It encourages you to press on, to see life's challenges not as setbacks but as stepping stones toward your true calling. Another unmistakable sign that you're on the right path is the emergence of opportunities that resonate with your deepest values and desires. Doors open often unexpectedly at just the right time. These opportunities don't feel forced or manipulated. They align naturally with who you are and what you feel called to do. You may encounter people who inspire you, places that uplift you, and situations that push you closer to your purpose. You sense that these openings are not merely coincidences but God's hand guiding you forward. These are the moments that reaffirm your faith, showing you that what is meant for you will not pass you by. The opportunities arrive in divine timing, arranged in such a way that they uplift and propel you, often coming into your life precisely when you've surrendered control and placed your trust in God's plan. In these moments, there's a sense of alignment with the universe that transcends logical planning. The circumstances, the connections, and the timing all seem to work together as if orchestrated by an unseen hand. You may find yourself at the right place at the right time, meeting someone who speaks exactly the words you needed to hear, or discovering an opportunity that seems tailor-made for your journey. These experiences show you that God is active in your life, moving pieces into place that support your growth and guide you closer to the life He envisions for you. It's a reminder that when you are in alignment with your purpose, the right resources and people appear, as if by divine appointment, affirming that you are indeed on the path that God has chosen. In times of hardship, when you feel as though you've reached the end of your strength, God grants you a new source of resilience. This inner strength, which rises up within you, is no mere resolve. It's a divine empowerment that allows you to overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. This strength is a sign, a powerful message from God affirming that you are on the right track. When you feel exhausted yet find the will to continue, when life feels overwhelming yet you can stand firm, know that this is God's power working within you. This strength doesn't fade in adversity, rather, it grows, building a foundation of resilience and perseverance. It reminds you that you are more than capable, that you have been equipped to handle the journey He set before you. This strength is not something you can muster on your own. It comes from a place beyond you, a place of divine support. You might face moments that test your resolve, yet find yourself able to press on, to rise above the challenges. With each trial, you discover a depth of resilience that you didn't know you possessed. This isn't an accident, it's God's reminder that His power is perfected in your weakness. In these moments, you realize that you are not walking this path alone, that God is sustaining you, empowering you, and leading you through every difficulty. The strength that emerges is His assurance, a reminder that you are on the path of His choosing, fortified by His love and protected by His grace. As you journey onward, you find that your vision begins to sharpen. Clarity emerges where there was once confusion. You start to see the connections between past experiences and present moments, understanding how each phase of your life has prepared you for what's to come. This clarity is another sign, a divine affirmation that you're moving in the right direction. The once vague dreams and ambitions begin to crystallize, and the path that seemed foggy now appears clearly before you. God has lifted the veil, allowing you to glimpse what He has in store. This clarity doesn't mean you see every step, but you sense that there is purpose in each moment, each decision, and each interaction. It's a reminder that God is directing your path, revealing what you need to know in His perfect timing. This newfound clarity brings with it a sense of confidence. You're no longer paralyzed by indecision or clouded by doubt. Instead, you move forward with assurance, trusting that the choices you make align with God's higher plan. You begin to see that each experience, no matter how small, is woven into the fabric of God's design for your life. This vision becomes a guiding light, illuminating the steps you are to take. You no longer need external validation or approval because you know deep down that you are on a sacred journey. The clarity you feel is God's way of affirming that your life has meaning, that each day you are moving closer to fulfilling the purpose He has set before you. And as you walk this path, there is a faith within you that becomes unbreakable. This faith is not a passive belief, it's an active trust in God's goodness, His wisdom, and His timing. You begin to rely on this faith to guide you through the uncertainties, to anchor you when the road is rough. Even when faced with challenges or moments that make you question your direction, this faith keeps you steady, reminding you that God's ways are not always your ways, but they are always right. You come to realize that your life is not your own to direct fully, it's a journey of trust and surrender. Each day you place your plans, your dreams, and your fears in God's hands, knowing that He is weaving them together into something beautiful. This faith doesn't remove obstacles but transforms how you see them. You no longer view setbacks as failures but as parts of God's plan to refine you, to grow you, and to deepen your understanding of His grace. You begin to embrace each challenge as a stepping stone, trusting that God is with you in every high and every low. Through this faith, you learn patience, resilience, and the power of waiting on God's perfect timing. You find strength in knowing that even in moments of delay or uncertainty, God's plan is unfolding exactly as it should. Faith becomes the thread that binds you to God's will, guiding you with a quiet assurance that every step is divinely appointed. In this journey, the signs that you are on the right path are clear, peace that surpasses understanding, opportunities that align with your soul, strength that carries you through adversity, clarity of purpose, and unshakable faith. Each of these signs is a gift, a gentle reminder from God that you are walking in His light, that you are moving according to His will. You begin to see your life not as a random series of events, but as a purposeful, divine journey. And in this recognition, you find the courage to continue, knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be. In recognizing these signs, inner peace, divinely timed opportunities, newfound strength, clarity of purpose, and an unbreakable faith, you can be assured that God is guiding you along the right path. Each sign serves as a reminder that your journey is not by chance, but by divine design. God's hand is at work in the details, from the quiet moments of peace to the doors that open effortlessly. With every step, trust that you are being led with intention and love, that your life is unfolding according to His perfect plan. Embrace this journey with confidence, knowing that you are walking in alignment with the divine purpose God has for you.